Here we go. The 2025 NBA draft is days away, and the Toronto Raptors, they could be up to something big. Yes, the latest piece from Jake Fisher and Mark Stein hint that the Raptors, they could get aggressive ahead of the NBA draft leading up to draft day. We're going to talk about it in this latest piece. Drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel. We are closing in on 40K subs on this channel, guys. Help me hit that. I'll be doing a live for the draft to see who, in fact, the Raptors draft at number 9, if they keep number 9. But the Raptors could even maybe get another pick. So let's look at this latest report from Fisher and Stein. They first confirmed that the Raptors are unwilling to part with Jakob Poeltl to acquire Kevin Durant. And they said, assuming he isn't moved, league sources tell the Stein line that Toronto and Poeltl have mutual interest in a contract extension in the near future. That's basically echoing the sentiment of Sportsnet's Michael Grange, saying that an extension could be coming sooner rather than later. Poeltl wants to stay in Toronto, and the Raptors, it seems, want Poeltl in Toronto for the long haul. Then it was reported that the Raptors continue to be in active trade talks, particularly when it comes to the draft. According to Fisher and Stein, the Raptors have expressed an openness to moving down from number 9, but have also discussed the possibility of trying to add a second lottery pick. So that is very interesting. No matter which picks the Raptors ultimately have for the draft, rival teams believe the Raptors are focused on drafting a center. So Raptors looking to potentially get another pick. That definitely caught my attention. And also the Raptors linked to a center. That doesn't come as a surprise, because when you look at what the Raptors need on this team, they could use a backup big. Doesn't mean this big is going to replace Poeltl going into next season, but they need a center behind Poeltl. We saw this center depth was an absolute mess, and when Poeltl misses time, it's not good. So the Raptors definitely got to address that. Obviously, Duke Smallwalk has been linked to the Raptors a ton. He's a top-ranked center, but it's very unlikely at this point he will still be available at number 9. He's drawn a lot of interest from several teams that are going to be picking ahead of the Raptors. The Raptors could address that center position with another prospect. Michigan's Danny Wolf has been linked to the Raptors. Also, you got Newell as another potential target. And then, of course, a name that has been linked to the Raptors a ton as well has been Maryland's Derek Queen. He is also viewed as a possible option for the Raptors at number 9. So if the Raptors end up staying put at number 9, I do think they will go big. Now, if they don't decide to go big, another guy who I really like and who's been gaining a lot of interest, it seems, from fans, is Carter Bryant. I think he's a really good prospect, 3-and-D potential. But based on this, it seems like the Raptors want to get the center position locked down. And it'll be interesting to see if the Raptors do anything, because historically, they haven't gotten crazy on draft night. They have stayed put on draft night. Under Masai, we haven't seen a grand move on draft day, but who knows? Maybe that could all change this year. Seems like there's a lot of things at stake. There's a lot of possibilities on the table. I mean, the Raptors have been linked to superstar talks a whole ton. Then it has kind of transitioned into maybe they're going to retool the roster with Emmanuel Quickley and RJ Barrett reportedly on the table for trade. Jake Fisher also reported that. And now it seems like the Raptors are about to be one of the more active teams ahead of the NBA draft, which begins on Wednesday. Again, it's a 2-day draft. And will the Raptors be able to pull something off? Could the Raptors get another pick? And how would they be able to get another pick? That's the interesting part. Obviously, RJ Barrett's name has come up a ton in trade conversations. Maybe there's an opportunity where the Raptors can trade someone like that to get another lottery pick, or maybe there's a possibility where they dangle Abaji. That's another name that has been sprinkled in some premature trade talk. But all in all, I find this interesting that the Raptors, they are expected to be busy, and regardless of what they do, this team, they want to be competitive for next season. That has been the clear indication. Grange saying in his piece the other day, the Raptors want to have a roster that at least has a puncher's chance at the Eastern Conference Finals. So seems like this team is no longer being patient. They want to be aggressive. They want to go out there and get something done. And they have been active in trade talks with the draft looming. We'll see what they end up doing. But if they don't end up doing anything and, they stay at number 9, it'll be interesting to see how the draft board plays out. It'll be interesting to see which name would be available at that spot, who the Raptors would go with. I would guess, they're going to get that backup, get big, but maybe there's somebody else who's on the horizon. And then the last thing here, just to kind of wrap this all up, is I don't think we're going to have something big happen with the Raptors and KD, especially if these reports have been coming out and been confirmed that the Raptors don't want to trade Poeltl. Like I said in the video I dropped yesterday, there's no realistic pathway the Raptors get a KD trade done without including Poeltl, who would be valuable salary in that scenario. So I'm good with that. I don't think the Raptors have to force a trade just to force a trade. I don't think KD is a guy you want to necessarily take a big risk on. And if that meant giving away Jakob Poeltl, who is this team's only true reliable big man right now, I wasn't down for that, because I think the Raptors definitely need a center if they're going to be competitive. I like Poeltl on this roster. I think if the Raptors are going to try to compete, they need him. We've seen it over a large sample size. When he's out there, he affects both ends of the floor. So for the Raptors to give up him per se in a Durant deal, it doesn't make sense to trade for Durant if you're not going to have the right pieces around him. And that's something that I think we will see resolved before the draft. If I had to make a prediction, I do think Kevin Durant will be traded either Monday or Tuesday. I think they're just waiting for the NBA Finals to be done. The Heat continue to be an interesting team linked to them. Are they going to include big man Kel'el Ware? I think that's what's going to be the determining factor there. But we could see maybe something happen with the Raptors, even though it doesn't involve KD. Maybe there's another trade. Maybe the Raptors want to have another pick in the lottery, and we'll see how they get that deal done with the assets that they currently have. But it will be interesting to see how it goes down, guys. The NBA draft is coming. It is going to kickstart what is going to be just a wild week leading into free agency. So keep it locked and loaded on this channel for the latest updates, the latest coverage on Raptors and NBA stuff. That is it for me, guys. Lucas signing off. Follow me on X, TikTok, and Instagram as well. I will catch you all again in the next one.